If you're a web designer, you've probably been focused most of the time on just creating websites and better websites. But I want you to stop doing that. Let me tell you a little story. In our business, one of the things that we have decided to do is to go beyond just offering website design and offering solutions to problems that businesses have. Now, this is a big shift, especially because AI is becoming more and more prevalent, as I talked about on a recent video/podcast episode. This is only going to get worse. The more focused you are on getting business results for your clients by offering them a solution to the problem that they have, instead of just offering website design, then the better your life will be. And that's when the game changed for us. We had a scenario for us a few years ago. Most of our clients were just doing websites, and at least we had a subscription model going, and that was helpful for us because we were able to build our business on recurring revenue and not have to worry about that feast or famine cycle. That was great. The problem is that when you bring on a client for website design and only website design, frankly, you're limited into how much money you can make from that client, and you're limited on the results and the impact that you can continue to have for your client in the life of their business. Of course, some clients just need a website. That's totally fine. You should never sell somebody something that they don't need. But you could very easily start offering more services to certain clients who did need that and increase the affinity that your clients have for you, increase the impact you're making in their business, and frankly, increase the income in your own business by getting more wallet share for each client. The main way that we have found to do this is to start introducing some subscription-based marketing services into your business. When we decided to do, that's when everything changed. Now, let me give you two quick things here that you might be thinking, I don't want to do that, or it might be a problem, or I'm not an expert in that particular thing. Number one, you should only do what you want to do. Learn a few skills. You don't have to learn them all. You don't have to be an ads expert, a social media expert, a copywriting expert, an email expert. These are all different areas that may or may not make sense for what you want to do, and they may or may not make sense for who your clients are. One of my favorite things in working with and helping to mentor other web designers is when they start to go down this path, but then they start adding 5 to 10 marketing services onto their plate that they want to start offering for clients. It can be very overwhelming and confusing for them. And I love showing them another way, showing them where you can just pick a few that make sense for your target market and that align with the kind of things that you want to learn how to do and become really good at. 2 or 3 of those services, in addition to your web design services, is going to make a massive impact for you and in the life of your clients. But the other thing about this is you don't have to do all the work. In fact, I'm a huge proponent for building a team around you or hiring white label providers or other people who you can plug into your business to help create the results for your clients. So as long as you're creating results that you're okay managing and being responsible for your clients, you don't even have to do the work. You could bring on somebody else who is an expert in that kind of work. That way, you're making sure to charge appropriately for the work that you are doing. So, how would you get started in doing this? Let me give you a couple different paths. One path is to do like I said and define a specific menu of services that you're going to offer. And again, you will choose these services based on primarily what your clients want and what you want to do. And the easiest way to get started with this is to create some sort of a framework or a pathway. People love being plugged into something that they feel like can be a proven path, a path for them to follow, something that they can grab onto. My mentor in the online business world, Jason Fried, often says that naming something is like giving it a handle. It's something that people can grab onto. Create your framework that makes sense for your clientele, and then give it a name so it's got a handle that your potential clients can grab onto. And if you are working with dog kennels or dentists or real estate professionals or even just people in your local area, and you create a name for your specific marketing framework that helps and makes sense in the context of that and what you're doing and for your audience, then you'll be able to make this a lot more understandable to clients and be a lot more likely to sell it to them. Having your explicitly defined framework that you like to take clients through and selling that is a far different experience than trying to tell them about how you're an expert in all these different things that you could possibly do. Okay. Now, the other way to go about this, though, is by using, and I love this approach too, intentionally vague retainers. Okay. I know it's a big mouthful, intentionally vague retainers. And this is not rocket science. It's exactly like it sounds. It's a retainer agreement that is intentionally vague as to the work that you're going to do. And this is kind of the exact opposite. Rather than defining a menu of services at all, you'll still be real clear up front about the kind of things that fall into your purview and the kind of things that don't. But beyond that, you could define a retainer that might be based solely on the amount of hours that's going to be worked, and you are just in charge of managing everything for the web and marketing component of certain businesses, or maybe just the web component for certain businesses. We've done it both ways for various kinds of clients. And these intentionally vague retainers can be fun because they're ill-defined and every day is a little bit different. And so those could be fun too. And I don't know, I think you just pick whichever is right for you. Do you want to have a menu, or do you want to do intentionally vague retainers, or do you want to do both? Like we do. We can go down either path and we're fine doing it. And the sales pitch is just a little different. You know, the sales pitch for the menu approach is basically, hey, look, we have a proven framework, a path that we like to take clients down. Here are the things that we do. Here's why we do them. On the retainer side, it's, hey, we want to be your experts so that anything having to do with web or marketing, we quarterback. You don't have to worry about it at all. Even if we have to bring in an outside vendor, we'll make sure that you're real clear about that. We'll help quarterback that process so you can put that on us and you don't have to worry about it at all. It's just two entirely different sales pitches for two entirely different situations, both of which can improve your relationships with your clients and also improve the amount of money that you are able to make. Before we wrap up, let me give you just a couple bits of advice. Number one, what should you charge for this? What should you charge for this? Well, look, there's no magic bullet. Depending on your services, and depending on the type of path you're going to go, are you going to do that intentionally vague retainer or not? There's going to be a lot of factors to consider. I'm going to invite you to check out another video that we did, another podcast episode, all about this subject of how to price your services. And you can use this for web design or any individual marketing service that you want to offer. I give you a list of, I think it's between 15 and 20 items of different things to think about when crafting your pricing, and that's going to apply here. So I'll make sure that you can very easily find that video in the description of the show notes. The other thing I want to tell you is to make sure that when you start offering these marketing services, that they are separate line items or even entirely separate invoices from a subscription web design agreement that you have. If you have a contract in place for a website, you're going to want to keep that separate because clients are iffy, frankly. A lot of times on marketing services, they'll want to add things here. They'll want to take away things there. They might determine that something's not working for them as well as they thought and don't want to do it anymore. Maybe the whole thing, they just want to toss out and get a different marketing company in. All of that is fine, but you want to make sure that your website stays separate so that stays on track as its own contractual agreement. That is going to be an important thing if you're doing what I do and offer marketing services and subscription web design. Make sure to keep those separate. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you take this and use this to build your business, grow your impact for your clients, and grow your income for you.